And welcome back to the experts here on Star97FM.com, along with Dan Paulin. I'm Randy Taylor. Thank you for joining us. And most importantly, thank you for joining us, Bruce Youngblood from Pension Solutions Canada. Thanks very much.
My pleasure.
One of the things that we were talking about before the break, I mean, we're here to discuss, what to do with your pension if you're a GM worker and you're looking at taking a pension in the next little while, and or with other organizations as well, and what to do with it. We were about to get into, I think, the meat of the issue here, which is what are the options that I have? My pension's coming up, in 6 months, a year, 3 months. What are the options that I have?
Thanks, Randy. First of all, as you say, this is targeted at GM, and the GM have a defined benefit pension plan, which simply means that when you retire, you're going to get X dollars, let's say $4,000 a month for, to age 65. Anyway, it's defined, it's specific. Other companies have similar defined benefit or DB plans, yet more companies have what's called defined contribution. In other words, you're putting in, $250 a month. So you know what's going in, you don't know what's coming out.
Right.
Nonetheless, this pertains to all of those folks, and everybody has different needs. There are options and choices at GM that wouldn't be available to a defined contribution, and there are restrictions too that are not restrictive on the defined contribution. Anyway, I don't want to get too technical here. So where were we? The heart of the matter is that when you're coming out of General Motors, then you have three choices. Of course, you could take, as I said earlier, the pension plan that your uncle took. You can take a copycat pension from an insurance company, or you can take the cash. So,
all right, let me because the thing that piqued my interest, and I'm not a financial advisor. I don't even play one on television. So, in listening to your conversation, so I can take the company pension. I know what that is.
Yeah.
I can take the cash, and we'll talk about that in a moment. You said copycat pension. So explain that. What is a copycat pension?
Yeah, a copycat pension or a copycat annuity is really the vernacular. It's meant to illustrate that your pension can be taken from the company, of course, but alternatively can be drawn in the same identical fashion from a Canadian financial institution. So what I say to people is take that pension statement that you get from the General, walk it over to the photocopier, and there's your pension from the insurance company. It is identical. It has to be identical. CRA, Canada Revenue Agency, insist on that. You can't delay it. You can't increase it. You cannot change it. Okay, so it's the same thing, just coming from a different source.
So why? My question to you would be why? Why
Yeah.
if it's going to be exactly the same as the GM pension, why would I do it with an insurance company?
Thanks, Randy. Two reasons. Number one, way most important is rather than, as I say, off air, we mentioned a company here. If I can I mention that?
100%. Yeah.
Cyanamid.
Yeah.
Well, some of the folks listening got stung, and their pensions got stung coming out of that. So let's pretend that the auto industry goes electric and Jerry Diaz does not have his way, and these cars are made in Mexico. Who's going to be contributing to your pension when you turn 80 years old? In other words, that pension is at risk. It's at risk of the company leaving.
Well, and we only have to go back to 2008 to look at the financial crisis then, when GM, Chrysler, and one other automaker were on the verge of bankruptcy.
Yeah,
right?
GM and Chrysler.
If they would not have gotten a bailout, they would have been gone. So in that case, and I was reading before you came in today about American Airlines, that then when they filed for Chapter 11. That there was $37 billion of the pension that they didn't have the money, and it's and so these people really took a hit and they suffered.
So imagine that you're 80. You don't look 80 right now, Randy, but someday you're going to turn 80.
No.
And you can't go back to work. What if your pension dries up?
Yeah.
What if there's a problem? Or my buddy in Hamilton. Dave Bartolotta worked for Frost Fence. Well, Frost Fence was sold by Stelco. He went over with it, and then the buyer went bankrupt. And from 1 month to the next, his pension dropped down to 70%. there's no recourse.
Just like that,
There's
and
nothing
there's
you can
nothing
do.
you can do.
And if you're 80,
Yeah.
you're not going to go out and drive a UPS van.
You know, it's for even me. I mean, my background, I was born in a GM town, and I'll die in a GM town. So, thinking just that concept that General Motors could go broke, 20, 30, 40 years ago was so foreign.
Yeah.
But now, given the economy, I mean, look at the number one automaker in the world is Elon Musk, a startup from 10 years ago whose market cap is now worth more than all of the combined car companies going. So
he's
big companies can fall, right?
Yeah, he's totally disturbed the industry and the economics, and not to pick on GM. They've been a wonderful employer for a lot of guys for a lot of years, but you have a choice. You can draw your pension from a foreign auto company or copycat annuity, copycat pension. You move that to a Canadian financial institution.
So if it goes to a Canadian insurance company, is the money absolutely guaranteed?
The money's absolutely guaranteed. It's guaranteed by two things. First of all, it's guaranteed by the company itself. So pick on Sun Life. Sun Life's been around 150 years, and they are a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They're in the business of paying out life policies, yes, but paying out pensions as well. Back up behind that, there is something called Assurus, and you can look that up on the internet. Assurus, it's an insurance coverage for insurance companies. For example, back in the late 80s, Confederation Life went broke, and it took a number of years before Canada Life bought it out and honored all of the obligations. But it was bought out, so you have that guarantee from both the insurance companies and Assurus.
Okay, so option one, I could take my company pension, and for some guys that may work for them.
Yep.
You have to I guess roll the dice a little bit and make sure the GM is going to be there for the balance of your retirement. Number two, the copycat pension, we covered that, and that's going to be guaranteed and secured, and and it's going to be carried here in Canada.
Just one additional point on that copycat. Right now, we're seeing cash surpluses. So I put a client into a copycat annuity, copycat pension. He got a cash surplus of $78,000. It's the highest I've seen.
Wow.
But it's just the insurance company didn't need all the cash to buy the pension, so they give it back to the member.
And he got that back as a dividend.
Bang right into his RSP,
Wow.
no tax.
Okay, so you can protect it, get a copycat pension, keep it protected here in Canada. Number three is you take the cash and then you call guys like Dan and I and say, you guys want to get together and play some poker, or not? What would you? What are the options for for taking the cash?
Taking the cash really means that you're going to be setting up 3 or 4 accounts. You're going to set up a locked-in account, an RSP account, cash account, probably a TFSA, maybe a TFSA for your wife. You're going to put some money in her RSP to save on her or his, your spouse's, your partner's RSP to save on their taxes. Anyway, the long and the short of it is you're going to have a bucket of money, and we're going to invest that for you in a secure fashion to get some growth for you.
And as a financial advisor, this is the bulk of your background.
Yes.
So for people thinking, oh, it's kind of scary to take my cash. No, I mean this is what you specialize in saying, whether it's $500,000 or $750,000, you'll sit down with them, you'll work out whatever their own personal plan is. Maybe they want the motorhome, maybe they want the sailboat, they want something, but then they want to protect the money and make the money work for them and earn. And moving it around in different pockets within the family with a spouse. That's what you specialize in.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks.
I fully expect I'll be coming and joining you with Canada Pensions. Yes.
Good.
Yeah. That's Pension Solutions Canada. So in looking at this again, it's a different model for everyone. If someone is listening to this right now and saying, I like what Bruce is saying. I don't know if I want to hire him yet. What's the process? I know that no one's committed to making a phone call, right?
No, what I'd say is go on the web, pensionsolutionscanada.com. Have a look at some of the articles. I also post regular weekly Facebook 5 or 10 minute videos. So have a look at those. see if you like what you hear or any questions that come up. You're welcome to call me. There's no cost to call me. By the way, there's not a cost to deal with us. We're always paid by the insurance company, by the financial institution, not by you.
So that so if I have $100 to invest,
Yeah.
the insurance company is paying you, not the GM worker.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is something that's important. And as far as the process, if someone is listening right now, they're with GM or another company, how long does this process typically take to go from meeting the client, finding out what their goals and objectives and dreams are, to be able to to then come back with potential solutions of what what you're suggesting that they make a decision from?
Yeah, certainly we can do some work very quickly, but the short answer is it takes 2 or 3 months from the day you retire until you get your pension put in place. And in that period, that gives us lots of time to talk about whether you want to pay off your trailer or pay down your mortgage or simply get your money working for you.
All right, and more contact information is going to be here on the page with the interview video again. It always fascinates me when we have a chance to bring somebody into the studio here that makes us look smart, because that's a challenge. So really appreciate your time, Bruce
you.
Youngblood with Pension Solutions Canada. Thank you very much for coming in, and
Thanks, Randy.
on behalf of all the people in Niagara. He's a good guy. Give him a call and find out. I'm Randy Taylor, along with Dan Paulin, the experts here. A focus on Niagara and small business on star97fm.com. More to come, and we will see you again soon.